My stoner mind.
Hi there, how are you doing? Are you good? Glad to hear it. So, somebody messaged me on Instagram. I didn't get that message because at some point or other, I must have declined the DM, as well as a few other people. And some of these other people were actually friends of this guy, and they're all trying to learn FL Studio. So, he messaged me through YouTube. I found who he was on Instagram because I had to manually find him. And then I messaged him, and once I messaged him, his messages were then able to come through. I'm basically going to show how I start off making my tracks. Apparently 5 people are going to be watching this and taking notes. Now, I'm not too sure why they want me to do this, but there's a ton of FL Studio tutorials on YouTube. Any one of those could probably show these guys how to do this, but apparently they want me to do it. So, yeah, bit of a tough spot, and I kind of felt bad because I declined the message, and apparently they were all sort of messaging me and asking and requesting and being nice and everything. So yeah, I'm kind of in a bit of a tough position, so I thought I might as well just do this. Now, in order to actually have audio come out of these speakers right here, I need them connected to an audio interface, and unfortunately, my PC does not have a Firewire port, so I've got this. This is a Firewire adapter, and I'm going to connect this into the PC right now. Thanks to somebody who left a comment on one of my previous videos. I have bought this. It cost about barely into double figures. Anyway, I'm going to install this now, install some drivers, and then I'll get on with a video. Alright, so here we have the software about to be installed. Okay, so here we are 2 hours later, and nothing works. The audio interface doesn't work without the software, and the software doesn't work without the drivers, and the drivers crash Windows 10, which is brilliant. So what I'm going to do instead is probably get another audio interface, because otherwise I can't use these speakers. Not to worry, what I'll do instead is use headphones, and we'll make a direct connection to the computer's audio output, and yeah, we'll just do it that way.
The pain is like, I almost can't feel it now. 5 days after. I never took painkillers, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue this vlog later. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this footage yet.
Okay, I kind of like this NVIDIA recorder thing because I don't have to do anything, just press record, and it records the video and audio all in one go, which is pretty neat. All I've got to do is sync my vocals to what I'm doing here, and that is basically it. So I'm going to try to make a tune or something or other, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now, I don't normally use one screen, so what I'm going to do with this is take this over to my other screen because that will give me a bit more room, and I'll leave that over there. So yeah, what I normally do is I can't really take that unless I detach it, but what I normally do is have 2 things on the left screen, on the left monitor. So I'll have this down here all the way across, and I'll have this at the top. I can't maximize it because this bar right here is in front of it, but if that wasn't there, then this would be at the top, and this would be at the bottom. But I'm going to try to use one screen. Now, I'm not too sure where I should really start off, but let's just start from the beginning, and hopefully you can sort of get some idea of what is going on. Right, anyway, we've got these here, so I might change some of these at some point. I usually do, and as you can see, I've named this Ta-da! Alright, so what I'll do is I'll drag this 808 right into there, and that is this. First thing I'm going to do is cut self. I'm going to cut myself, and what that does is it stops it repeating. You see, if that's not selected, then what happens is it doesn't do that, and it sort of just loops over itself. Also, if you're watching this, it'd be better if you wore some headphones or earphones. Alright, so a tip, if you're going to make a bass line, make it in a higher octave. And then bring it down to a lower one. So the way I'm going to do that is piano roll, and let's say we'll do it around here. By the way, the whole point in doing this is so that you can actually hear the bass, because sometimes you can't hear them properly when they're low, but when they're up here, you can hear all the frequencies and you know whereabouts you're putting the notes more accurately. So that's what I usually do. Also, it kind of helps if you have the metronome going. That way you can sort of stay in sync. Not too sure what tempo I want first. Let's maybe choose something. 125, 120. Let's now take it down to, say, C4, so control and down arrow. So we'll have that, say, for maybe 2. Now let's do it for 4. That is control and B. Right, well, anyway, I'm not too sure about using 808 for a bass line, although it sounds alright. I think it could be better. Let's maybe choose something else, maybe? I'm not too sure. Let's see what the snare's like. So, snare. Put the snare there. 1, 2, doot, doot. So that snare's a little soggy. What I'm going to do is change that for something else. And by the way, I've got Chrome opened up as well, and I've got about... I've closed a few tabs since I made the gaming video. I've got about 60, 57 odd tabs, I think. I could count them all. Okay, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... You know what, let's leave it. I've got a lot of tabs open. Anyway, back to this snare. Let's just use this reggae one. It's alright, it's not bad. Could be better, but it's not. So let's just stick it in here, shall we? That's what she said. Right. Now, maybe, seeing as though this is reggae, let's try to make a reggae sort of a vibe of a track or something. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't actually set out to make a certain type of track. It's just whatever is made during that session is whatever's made. I've tried in the past to plan a track, like you know, make a dubstep style one or a particular style one, but it never turns out like that, so I don't bother. I just make whatever, and that is what I've made. Also, as you can see, I don't really have any plugins installed. This is a new computer that I've set up, and I've not really had the chance to get anything installed. I've got Zebra, and I've also got something else. Well, I've got these here. Just for now, let's try this. And what I'll do is grab this keyboard that's on my desk. Actually, it's on the graphic equalizer, which is on my desk. Actually, the graphic equalizer is on the amplifier, which is on my desk. I've got a lot of things piled up here. Hopefully this wire's long enough. It is! It's a 5-meter wire, but it's flipping trapped behind the graphic equalizer, which is a pain in my finger. And I've just noticed that it's a little dusty. Nice! Right, so your typical reggae sort of a thing. Something like that, maybe. That sounded a little oriental. We'll put this all the way over there. Number 20 for some reason. FL keys. And let me bring the microphone a little closer to my gob. I think that should do. Right, anyway, we'll see where we go with this. Okay, so this bass line is not going to stay. Let's get rid of that. And this one right here. We need something a lot slower. Shall we see if we can make something out of this? Now, I said that I want to do some sort of a reggae style thing, but I've also said that if I start off saying that I want to make a certain style of track, it never works out. So I've kind of put myself into a bit of a hard spot, so I'll take that back, and I'll say that I'm just trying to make a track, and I don't know what track it is that I'm making, what category, what genre, whatever. Right, so what we have here is Zebra, and what I'm going to do is change this sound to something else, something more bassline-like. Right, okay, so when I keep my finger pressed on the keyboard, so I might just use that in this track. Obviously it's not going to be some sort of a reggae tune if I do that. I don't think it will be anyway. Shall we see what it sounds like with these keys in there as well? It's probably going to sound awful. Assign this to, say, 22. Change the colour of this to yellow. And it was all yellow. Alright, so we don't need the keys anymore. Delete the keys. Pop, plop. Right, so I've got this Zebra. Let's try to do something with the Zebra. Do you know who Hans Zimmer is? He uses Zebra. Alright, so I'll just let this loop over in the background, and I'll try to do something with Zebra. Might as well put some kicks in there too. Oops, put it in the wrong one. Noob. Let's maybe change the kick to something else because I'm not too keen on that kick. Right, so basically what I've got here is a sound that I'm gonna manipulate and see if I can make something from it, basically. So this is what it sounds like. Alright, so I've added some bass to this, but we don't really need bass to it. I usually do that separately, but what I'll do is I'll take that off and... Right, so my whole point in doing... I can't talk whilst it's playing, you won't be able to hear me. Alright, so the whole point of me doing this, making a random sound, is to show you that you can just take any sound and make something from it. So that is what I'm going to do, hopefully. Now what I'll do is I'll render this out. Just that. Like so, and then this recording, and it is done. Rendered it straight into the program, which is awesome. 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 Oh shit, wasn't supposed to do that. Alright, that's what it was, I think. And turn this off, and then just shorten that to around there. And now what I'll do is assign this to mixer track number 30 for some reason. And we'll make that orange, or shall we just keep it yellow? Let's keep it yellow. Everything is yellow. Alright. Ending of it right there. What I'm going to do is just take a section of this. So maybe even take this one from there like that. Yes, that sounds a little better just for a bit of a change, and then this end bit can be like normal. Or maybe it can be this way around. Like that. Okay, so we've got this now. Now what we can do is double this and basically make some more changes to it, which is what we do when we make music. So say double it, get rid of this end one, and this is how this would sound now. Let's start it from here. Now, what else am I going to do to this? Shall we add a reverb? No, I'll put a reverb on into, let's say, mixer track number 80, and we'll use the regular. Where is the regular? Delay? No, reverb. Delay or reverb? Delay or reverb? Let's try delay. Right, so that's quite loud. What I'll do now is I'll side chain the kick into this, and that means going like that, putting that, selecting that, and then where is the limiter? Spot the limiter before I do. Spot the this there. Okay. Compression, side chain, bring that down, take that up. And what I can do to this is maybe bring it down an octave because it sounds a little crazy. That's the thing, you know, when you make music, you kind of get used to the sound and then you want to change it, even though it might sound alright, because you've heard it so many times, you kind of get bored of it and you sort of want to change it. But resist the temptation as much as you can, if you want, or just give in to it and change it. 200 cents. Okay, that's how that sounds. What I'll do now is maybe just bring this across to here and then duplicate that. Alright, just for now. Alright, so we need a reverb as well. I think I will add one to number 7981. Reverence. Let's color it blue. It was all blue. What I'll do now is go here and we'll add a reverb number this one. So basic FL Studio plugins, because I don't have anything else installed. Alright, so what we'll do is I'll just mute it from the main and just have it coming through the reverb for now, so I can hear it, hear what it's like. Alright, so that's that sorted, I think. Obviously you're going to completely change everything before the track's finished. You know, this is sort of just a foundation you're setting up, and it's not guaranteed to stay. Now the snare, what I'll do is add it to the reverb mixer track. And it sounds poo, so it needs its own. Let's say 79. Blue REV2 and OCD. Let's see how this sounds. Right, so there's a lot of weirdness going on in this track. First of all, it sounds really weird, and that's about it. Right, back to this. Now, seeing as though I've put this here, I don't need this anymore, so even if this, say for example, crashed or didn't work anymore, or I accidentally uninstall it, I'm still going to have this, which is another good reason to render out your doings. Alright, so we've got a bit of a bass line going on now. What I'm going to do is just play it so you can hear it, and I'll play it all together. And here we go. By the way, I'm playing it on the keyboard. That wasn't it. Alright, so this is it. But obviously, like I said earlier, it's going to sound a lot better when it's a lower octave, and I'll play that now. So something like that, and what I'll do is I'll just record that in. So it's the first time I'm recording something in FL Studio since I've installed it. And I will record everything. And go. No, we need a bit of a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Should do, I think. Alright, so this right here is kind of crazy sounding, to be honest. So I think I might just run a bit of a low pass on it. Where is the... ah, it's there. Okay. Bit of a high pass. Might as well just render this bass line out. And then I can get rid of that. Also, what I'll do is change the color of this to something else. I usually like to have the bass line a nice dark color, because it is the foundation of most songs. So that is good enough. And I almost tried typing with the MIDI keyboard. Bass. Also, I'll move this to the top. And what do I have on the master track? I've got a limiter right there. I'm going to take this limiter off, because I don't need that. I know what I'm doing. And we'll assign the bass to track number 32. Bass. Might just turn the volume down on this a little bit. And we'll get something else going on. So basically all this track is being made using Zebra. Alright, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Cheat! I've got this French oboe. And what I'll do is see if I can do something with this. And play this from the start and just start banging away on the keyboard. So this is how it sounds. Alright, so I'm not too sure what I'm doing with that, but I'm sure I can figure something out. Alright, so just something basic, and let's record. Now the thing about doing this is it's not quantized, so we can't really use that anyway. Delete and delete. This is what we're going to need. Get rid of these two. Select all, drag it to the end, and then maximize and quantize. Alright, no, we don't need to quantize because we've got some other stuff going on. Might just leave that as it is. Makes it a little more realistic. Alright, so I'm just going to double this. Looks good. Right, so what we have here is a snare, and I'm not dragging it into there. I'm putting it here. What I'm going to do is, this is how it sounds, right? So I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit because it's always a little too loud. And I'll drag this over to, let's say, number 6. No, that's, yeah, 6. 6 is this. Number 6. And we'll name it Simba. Simba. So what I'll do is, obviously, cut self, cut for Bieber, and I'll put that, I'll not leave it there. What I'm going to do is double click and reverse. I'll put that there like that. About there. That should do, and this is how it sounds. Now that is a little too sharp for my liking. Also, I could probably choose another symbol. Alright, let's select this and I'll choose something else. I'll choose this. Crash 909X. And we'll put that there like that, and this is how this sounds, so I'll just turn it down a little more. And what I'll do is add something else to this. What I could maybe do is add a ping pong reverb to that. So maybe send that over to number 75. And that's not even 75, it's 77. Reverb, PP, and then we'll add this, and we'll do a one of these things, ping pong, and see how that sounds. That sounds a little better. Turn it down a little bit maybe. Bring that down a bit. Make it wet. Right, so about here I'm going to add something else to it. Maybe I could do another one of these. Not too sure. Could do. That seems to go alright. Should turn the volume down a little bit maybe. Just a tiny bit. Alright, so the rest of this I don't think needs any bass because that will be our sort of drop. So yeah, we'll add something else, some other synth I think to this section right there. But first what we're going to do is render that out. And same as always. Right, oops. Yes, no, maybe. Maybe not. What? I don't know. Right, okay, so we've got this right here. And what we do now is we take this over there and we put it on fire. Assign this to different track because otherwise confused, and then we change color. Let's maybe change it to orange. And what was it? French something. French something. Let's change it to French something. Was it a flute or something? I'm not really too sure. Alright, I keep trying to drag these out of the screen, but I can't do that. I've got to detach it first. Detached, and then it's off the screen, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it where it is. What was I going to do? I don't remember. Actually, I didn't have anything planned. So I'm going to make this big, and now we can see what we're doing. I could already see what I was doing, but yeah. If you're on a mobile phone, you'll now be able to see what I'm doing. Right, so what I could do is chop this up a little bit. We can see how that sounds. So what I'm doing there is keeping hold of the right mouse button, and that pops up. You've got to have it enabled in the options. Right, okay, that seemed to work out fine. Started off a slightly strange track, remained a slightly strange track, and praise the Lord for Control and Z. Actually, what I'll do is I'll make some changes to this. Get rid of this bit. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I don't mean that literally. Although, I hope you can see what I'm doing too, literally. But with the music, what I'm trying to do here is what I mean. Right, not too sure where I'm going with this track. Let me see. No, I don't know. And yeah, there is no navigation. Alright, so what I might do is there's a bit of a error in this part, so I'm going to just duplicate the last section of that. And the error was this bit right here, so there's a bit of a gap right there, so that didn't quite sound the way it should have sounded. It should have been there, and then that would have been extended a little bit. But it wasn't, it was like this. So yeah, that's now sorted. Control and S, and now it does take time adding things to this if you're just taking it from scratch, but some people have templates, and I don't do that. I like to start from scratch each and every time, which I should maybe reconsider. What I do now is nobody knows. I close this and go to bed. Still a bit early for bed for me, but I don't even know what time it is. What am I talking about? Anyway, let's just carry on with this then, shall we? Okay. What I'm going to add to this is anybody's guess. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll assign this to a mixer track, say, for example, which one? 35. And then we'll turn that orange. French something. And yeah. Alright, so what we'll do now is add some hats to this, and these are the hats I'll be adding. Let's just get them recorded. Not too sure how it's going to sound, but piano roll, and so the hat's going to go there like that. Let's chop this up into 4, I think. Actually, let's just start off with this. Chop this in half. Alright, so this one can be chopped. And this one into... So I'll take these hats and I'll put them on my head. Now obviously I want to add some variation to this at some point, but for now they should be okay. And where are the hats? Here, number 3. Hats. Now I want to turn down the volume on this a little bit. Quite a bit. What I'll do is just grab the wrong one, that one there, and there. Right, so now I think I might just leave it here because I've got to go eat something, and I might return to this. I probably won't. Well, maybe in the next video, maybe not. For now, though, I think that is about all, and I'm not too sure where this track is going. I have no sat-nav, and yeah. I put up a gaming video on my other channel just to make a bit of a change. Make it a little more YouTube friendly because I'm not too sure YouTube really likes people analysing the sky. Yeah, so check that out if you want, and I will see you in the next one. Or maybe you'll see my hand in the next one. You probably will. But for now, ciao.